Hello, welcome back to the Watford Way. And I'm struggling to try and not laugh because we are a circus. We are a complete basket case of a club. But as I said before, I wouldn't change it for the world. And I have to say, Mr. Pozzo is certainly keeping me on my toes at the moment. Wow. Where do I start? Now, of course, you would have all seen the reports in the media and read the title of this video. It appears Emmanuel Dennis and Watford are in advanced talks over bringing him back to the club for a third spell at the mighty Orns. And before we dive into my thoughts on the whole situation, let's talk about the report from the Daily Mail because they were the first to break this news. Now, I do have to clarify that is the only outlet so far to come out with this story. We've not had confirmation from BBC Three Counties Radio and the Watford Observer, who receive information from the club directly. We don't have confirmation from their sources, but the Daily Mail generally can be classed as a pretty professional and reliable outlet, and their headline seems to suggest the deal is pretty close. Within the article, it also states that Dennis had interest from West Ham after his release from Nottingham Forest, but Nuno opted against signing him. And also Paphos FC in Cyprus. You may recognise that name because that is where Ken Sema is currently. They're playing Champions League football this season, as I'm sure some of you know. They also expressed a desire in Emmanuel Dennis. But it seems, according to this report, he has chosen to come back to the mighty Orns. Now, firstly, I think the big question is, where does he fit in? Do I agree with the deal? What is his salary? There's so many questions here to answer that we don't yet know the answers to, really. The report has just come out about half an hour ago as I record this video. I'm sure more stories will emerge later this evening and into tomorrow. But firstly, is this the right fit? I'm not totally sure. I mean, there's been many reports over the years with Dennis that he seemed to have some sort of attitude and ego problem, but that's never really been validated by anyone, really. That's always just been rumour and speculation, but I can see why people may opt against it, given them stories that have followed him throughout his career. Where does he fit into the Watford team? I mean, we have so many attacking players. It's probably the best area of the pitch we have in terms of strength and depth. We have Vata and Georgie over on the left-hand side. We have Kiramgard, Doumbia and Semedo up front. On the right, we have Othman Mama, Kwadwo Bar, Nestri, Irankunda can play across all them positions as well. So I think if we do sign Dennis, I don't think I would necessarily expect him to come in and immediately start. I think he maybe come in on some sort of pay when you play type of contract, because he's been a free agent for several months now since he left Nottingham Forest, and I'm sure when Watford come in for him, he would have obviously grasped at that opportunity to play professional football once again. But surely he's not coming in to be a starter week in, week out, because where that leaves our other attacking players who are young and have a lot of potential, I'm not so sure. So my initial feeling is I should be against the deal. But actually, as a supporter, there's not too much we can do in these situations. As I said, I've accepted that Watford are a complete joke or a complete circus at the moment. And this is yet another decision where I do have to question the thinking of not only Gino and Duxbury, but now Juan-Luca Nani and Valon Barami, because those are the two sporting directors at the club. They'll have a big impact into making this deal happen. And I don't quite understand why they've done this. Maybe they're expecting Georgie to be out longer than we anticipated, and they want another attacking body through the door as a backup. But I think the only reason Watford would have done this deal is if it was a cheap deal to do. So I don't think Emmanuel Dennis will be on the type of salary he was on when Watford were in the Premier League. Of course, that was his real breakout season. He got 10 goals that year. He was one of our best performers in his second spell back at the club on loan from Forest. He made a decent impact. He scored the goal at Birmingham City that really secured Watford's safety in the Championship next season. But even for me, who is quite an optimist and a positive fan, there is a lot of hesitation for me on this deal. We've had a managerial change already. Paolo has gone, Javi has come in. I just want Watford to be a settled, calm, stable club just for a little bit of time. And I feel like with Dennis coming in, once again, it may rock the apple cart slightly. So I'm not sure what to think. If this does come to fruition, I'm sure I'll do another video on this in more detail. But shocked to read the story. It's come from a very reliable outlet in the Daily Mail. So you have to assume there is a large element of truth to this. And we'll have to see what happens. But this could happen really now at any time. Dennis is available on a free transfer. And yeah, keep an eye out in the next few days because Emmanuel may be returning back to the club. So a quick video from me today. Of course, if anything else develops on this story, I'll keep you updated both here on YouTube and across all our social pages. But let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments section down below. Would you like Dennis to come back for a third spell at Vicarage Road? Yeah, was certainly an interesting club to support, it has to be said. And of course, our normal match preview will be out later this week, looking ahead to Sheffield United at home. But yeah, Dennis, I mean, he's not even had a pre-season. So yeah, I imagine if he does join, there'll still be, a few weeks of him really getting up to, the sort of fitness we need in this Watford side. So yeah, I'll stop talking about it. An interesting story. And yeah, let's see if it comes true. Dennis, back to the Orns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.